This is my hot take for
Uh-oh.
F1.
Uh-oh, here we go.
F1 is better than Top Gun Maverick to me.
Ooh.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Rashad? Antonio, we are the Upon Further Review, and we saw a movie, F1, all
Mm-hmm.
spoilers. Got to talk about the thing to talk about the thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go first.
Go ahead.
I want to say this is my hot take for
Uh-oh.
F1.
Uh-oh, here we go.
F1 is better than Top Gun Maverick to me.
Ooh. And you know what? I was watching this. I'm just gonna say this. I was watching this and you say that, and I was thinking, I think Rashad is gonna enjoy this more than the Top Gun Maverick. Because Rashad, you have made it known that you was like Top Gun Maverick was okay, but people are really glazing it up a little too much for it. But
Yeah.
continue.
That's exactly correct. Like,
Hmm.
and the funny thing, not even the funny thing, the non-ironic thing is
Hmm.
unironic, I'm sorry. The same creative team did both
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
So John Krasinski,
Hmm.
same direct DP,
Hmm.
same team.
Hmm.
Shout out to
Jerry
Jerry
Bruckheimer.
Brockheimer
Yeah.
coming through. I did not see
Hmm.
the lightning and the very golden background. I kind of I missed that. Shout out to The Rock. You know what I'm saying? All those
Hmm.
awesome 90s action movies Jerry Brockheimer produced, Armageddon and so forth.
Hmm.
But yeah, that team, right? They basically said, "Hey, man, copy paste. We're gonna take out planes. We're gonna add in F1. We're also gonna have actual people from F1 record at real F1 races.
Shout out to Leonard Hamilton being a producer for this as well.
EP on that, get that money,
Hmm.
black
Yes, sir.
man. You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying? Shout out to yes, to my coworker Esther. She is the biggest Lewis Hamilton fan and F1 fan.
Really?
Yeah, like I mean. Huge.
Really? Okay.
She went like if I had time, I would have asked her on the pod. Like she had runs like a Lewis Hamilton like fan page on Facebook, like not a game. She was at
That's
the
that's
at
wow.
at the Vegas race.
Oh shoot.
They recorded
Is she
that. Yeah,
and she's an
yeah,
F1 fan?
yeah.
I'm curious in how she got into being an F1 fan because
Lewis Hamilton,
it's
because he's just a gorgeous man. That's really
I
it.
mean
That's the whole that's the whole
you
reason.
you know what? You know what? That's all it takes is especially for and this is going to sound so chauvinistic or whatever, but for some women to like something sports related or male dominated, it takes a beautiful man for them to get him in.
Yeah, I
And I'm
mean,
gonna
and
give
just like vice versa, man. Like
yeah,
some people ain't watching, like, yo, some shows we just only watch it for one reason.
oh yeah,
You know what I'm
oh yeah,
saying? It'd be some
yeah,
trash TV, like, oh, but so and so's in it,
yeah.
so I'm gonna give it a shot.
Her saying that, saying reminds me of in the, saying, and I'm a big wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan since I was like 7 years old. Shout out to Uncle Butch, rest in peace, put me onto it. But in the mid to late 90s, a big boom of women started watching wrestling because of one Dwayne the Rock Johnson. That like
Yeah,
they knew the mainstream. They knew who Hulk Hogan was because he was with his racist ass. He was wrestling. People knew who he was. They knew Macho Man. People knew Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. Like they were
yeah,
like and Andre the Giant. They were like wrestling
yeah,
gods. Like people knew them.
yeah.
But The Rock came along, and then next thing you know, women were just like, oh,
Oh, this has actual. This is it's a different type of appeal.
mm-hmm,
And which leads me to like back to F1 because after you hook people in,
mm-hmm,
then you keep them with just like wrestling with
mm-hmm,
storylines. You
mm-hmm,
know what I'm saying? You got your heel. I mean,
mm-hmm,
I'm pretty sure there is a particular amount of kayfabe going on over there.
mm-hmm.
So, and that's what the movie kind of encapsulates. You're welcome. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't know the
Like
term. Thank you.
it's so like when I was watching this, I it made me feel like, man, we don't see a lot of these anymore.
Mm-hmm,
It's just we got the old grizzled vet,
mm-hmm,
we got the young upstart who's
mm-hmm,
cocky and
mm-hmm.
not really hasn't made any success, but is trying to do all the successful stuff. And then okay, I love the dynamic of how they set this up, right? Because
Hmm.
it's so right now.
Yes,
This is a very 2025 mid 2020s movie because
I I
you
know where you're
got
going with
you
this. I
got
know exactly
Damson,
where.
you got his
Uh-huh.
cousin who's his manager, and you
Uh-huh.
have his mom. And Cuzzo and your boy, they are out here being very young 20-year-olds. We
They're being
partying, we
they're
on
being
social
straight up
media,
millennials. Yes,
yo,
yes,
we just having
yes.
fun. We're not even
Hmm.
we don't care nothing about we like I'm good at racing, but I ain't taking this
Yeah.
but so serious.
We just trying to get
I'm
paid.
blaming everybody else for my issues, not having any
Hmm.
personal responsibility. Like
Hmm.
this is like a real case study of what people would say like like the Gen Z kids is right now. I'm not gonna say all of y'all, but
Yeah.
this is what the
This
folks
is
say. You know what I'm
this movie
saying?
was the perfect example of generation versus generation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
usually like okay, I say this all the time, but
Hmm.
this movie was successfully uncorny in that way because a lot of the times
Yeah.
these little tropes can be very cheesy, and I just
Yeah.
want to say as well, this is a movie with all the tropes.
Yeah.
Oh, and like and they stacked the deck. They say, you know what?
Hmm.
We're gonna have a handsome old man. Hey, Brad
Hmm.
Pitt, as problematic as you are right now. We're gonna have an amazing and handsome younger person, Damson Idris. We're gonna have them hate each other
Hmm.
because we have the grizzled vet who's doing things the old school way,
Hmm.
and we got my man out here being a 22-year-old doing things
Hmm.
the current way.
Me.
Yes. Oh, and it also brings into like a lot of dynamics of how um our sports stars are currently. So, what's this? I don't even remember his character's name, but
Who?
Damson's on character.
JP Joshua. They
Yeah,
call
Joshua
Joshua
Pierce.
Pierce,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
called him. He was calling him. Says, "What
Yeah.
is JP?"
Said,
What?
who is JP? Like, nigga, that's you. You know what I'm
Also,
saying?
also, before you get started, shout out. I think this is the first time I've ever seen Damson in a movie or production or whatever where he's using his actual British accent.
Yeah, and that's okay.
He's using
And
his
that's
actual
good.
British,
Yeah.
and they used all the, hey, what a breath and all that stuff, all the British lingo, or what, you said, you swan. You said, what?
What?
What, so yeah, I just wanted to bring that up there.
Yeah,
I
that's real
appreciate,
good.
yeah.
And that kind of leads to the whole international appeal of the movie because this movie
Hmm.
is gonna make his money back. It did really well internationally.
Yeah.
And pretty decent here in the States too. You know what I'm saying? It made about
Hmm.
like 155 mil the first week. It supposedly cost around 200 mil. I don't think it cost that much, but
It said between the budget was between 200 300 mil, and as of right now, they've already got 145 145.4 million. So they about to make that.
yeah, it's gonna be a little
They
bit
about to make that
difficult
this week. Yeah.
because it's about to be stacked. We got Jurassic World, then we got Superman, then we
Yeah.
got Fantastic Four. So
Yeah.
this may kind of get lost in the sauce
Oh, that's right.
the same way that Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning did
I
in
think what's going to
23.
help it this week, they brought it out 2 weeks before Superman. That's one thing I think is helping them out with that.
Yeah.
And then
But you
also
know,
too,
people
this is the 4th of July weekend too.
people are gonna go see Jurassic World
When does that come out? That come out this weekend?
July 2nd, this Friday.
So, all honestly, I have not seen a Jurassic Park movie since the OG. That's the only Jurassic Park movie I've
Wow,
seen.
good.
I didn't,
I've ventured in a couple of them joints
I haven't
with
seen, I
diminishing
haven't seen,
returns.
I haven't seen the original. sequels, what Lost World
Yeah,
and
yeah, that was Jurassic
I
Park
just
2, Lost World. I saw Lost World in the theaters by myself in
uh,
'02 while I was in Massachusetts during the summertime, and it sucked balls.
I didn't
Okay,
see that,
well, okay.
and then I didn't see the ones with Chris, saying the Chris Pratt
I
ones.
saw the first two. I didn't see the last
Uh,
one. Yeah, that I
okay.
was like, this is a bit ridiculous for me. But
I know
yeah,
this we're a little off right now, but
no, I saw
is this Lost World? Is this connected to the Chris Pratt ones, or is
they're
this its
all
own?
kind of connected.
Okay.
They're all connected. It's all the same universe. They're just
Okay.
doing like it's yeah,
Just different
it's
things.
a whole
All
thing.
right.
New Rockstars
Okay.
has a timeline video if you want to take a
Okay.
gander at that.
Thank you. I'll check it
Shout
out.
out Eric Ross. So anyway,
Yes.
this movie, like the tropes that they play in this movie, like they're pitch perfect because a lot of times you can have a trope and then just be like, oh, this again. But
Hmm.
they play it so well, and then you know what's coming. I don't even care. For
Hmm.
example, the Brad Pitt's love interest. I knew he was gonna end up hitting that.
Oh
I
yeah.
did not care. It's
Uh,
like their whole little giving that like will they won't they the whole movie was like it was very like okay like and this again we don't get these movies at all anymore.
hmm.
Like it's just fun. We are light on real plot. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Is the movie very predictable? Yes, it is. Do you know what's gonna happen next? You do. And
Hmm.
here's what made this movie to me a lot better than Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
And it was just the intensity of the racing.
Yeah.
Now, we're not like I've never flown a plane. I don't fly
Mm-mm.
planes. I don't know what the exhilaration of flying a plane would ever be.
Hmm.
But I drive a car every day. And I know how fast is. So speak going double the amount of speed with other cars around you, I can envision just how fast that is. And the
Yeah.
way that movie was shot
Yeah.
and how they used real footage and they intermingled it with movie footage flawlessly.
Yeah.
Like I don't like I don't even understand why Apple Originals would even want to do this. Like, there's no reason for Apple to, again, just like with everything that Apple does for the media side. I
Hmm.
don't know why y'all want to do this, but keep on doing it because
Yeah.
this was quality. I'm
Hmm.
glad that they released this in the movies.
Hmm.
This is a movie that you want to see in the movie
Hmm.
theater.
Hmm.
It's yeah, like I had a real fun time watching this. I watched it with Keisha too, and she was like, "Oh man, it's pretty good."
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like like Keisha likes something like this, then you know it has to be
Yeah.
remotely decent.
Yeah. So for me watching this movie, after the movie was over, first thing I said was, I think for me, this is the best racing movie since Days of Thunder.
It's up
And
there.
I really like Days of Thunder. Tom Cruise and all they did a great job with Days because it just like Days of Thunder, this movie made you feel like you was in the race. You know what I'm saying? You caught it, but this does it to another level. And of course, Jerry Bruckheimer and all them, the same people that was with Maverick, they did the same thing they did with Maverick with this one. They put cameras in the cockpit in Maverick so you can get the same thing in this right here. I will say once again, I know nothing about Formula One. I just like Javier Bardem's character said, he's a hey, this is a rocket on wheels. So that's all I know. That they're very fast cars. I don't know the rules or whatever. I've heard that there are some people who are pure F Formula One fans that are like, oh, it was a good movie, but the race scenes were a little high. You know what I'm saying? But some of them were like, they understand because you got to do movie stuff to, saying to make this happen. But I've really, like you said, I really enjoyed it. Like you said, it had every trope in it. Earlier, as we said, it was generation versus generation. Like I think one of my favorite scenes in the movie was I think it was the second race they did, and it was the second race they did, and they crashed, and Damson and excuse me, Joshua and Hayes were arguing in the hallway, and then they got to the opening where the media was, and being a social media darling and savvy person, he turned, put on that smile in front of the social media. He was like, "What the hell are you smiling for? We lost." And he was like, hey, and he says, "Look, people don't care about you. They just want what's the hottest thing in the moment." And that's the truth. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people in our generation and older have been trying to instill, Rashad, into, like, what I'm saying, the younger generation. Because you and me, we are in that crazy crossroads when it comes where I like to refer to us as ex-millennials, because it's like we grew up under the guidance of Gen X, baby boomers and Gen X, but we are still savvy enough to know millennial type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or else I
Yeah,
like to say we're the Nintendo generation. We grew up with rotary. We knew what a rotary phone was. Some of us might have had it early on, but we still had phones in the we had phones in the house and stuff like that. We remember having a floor model television, having to get up and push the button to change, the channel and stuff like that. If somebody had a computer in their house, they was considered rich.
bro,
You
he's
know what
telling yo.
what I'm saying? Having, like, or even having a computer and needing, like, floppy disks. You know what I'm saying? Needing, like, a DOS drive to boot the computer up, and then you put in the disk that you need for that. So we're in that crazy generation, and I think that's what he was trying to do with this movie,
Yeah,
especially with Brad Pitt's character. But once another thing I thought was hilarious is that the other thing you have is, once again, you got the grizzled vet, where you see in the beginning Brad Pitt is nothing but a mercenary. He's a driving merc. What I'm
basically.
saying. They was doing the one race. At first, I was like, "Is this NASCAR?" It's not NASCAR. I don't know what type of
No, it's
racing.
it's the Le Mans 24-hour race.
Okay, right.
So what happens is like they'll have like it's basically your team is 24 hours
Oh,
and they
wow.
switch drivers. I don't know racing. I know enough that I can have a
Uh-huh.
conversation. So they'll switch drivers and you just continuously drive
For 24
until
hours
yeah, until
to
until
see
it's
who.
over.
That's crazy, right? Because I saw he was sleeping in his Ninja Turtle van, and everything, the Ninja Turtle van, and they came and got him, and like, "Hey, it's you up?" And he said, "What? Where am I at?" He's like, "All right, I got this." And he took they was like, what, in eighth place or something like that, and he went and hopped all the way up for first place and got like a nice lead. When he was done, he says, "You lose this lead, I kill you." And then he goes back to his van and says, "Hey, don't wake me up if we lose." Simple as that. And I love how the movie starts off kind of the same way it ends, when their team wins, and he's not even at the podium and everything at all. He just wants his check. They say, "Hey, yo, this trophy is yours," and he like, "Nah, you can keep it." And they're like, "Hey, you want to? Hey, man, I could use you. You stay on the team." He said, "I'm good," and he's just off to the next. He's
Yo,
just off to the next race.
ain't the crew chief the dude from Mission Impossible?
Yes, yeah.
I thought that was him.
And he's just like, yeah, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then you see the next time you see him, he's like washing his clothes at a little laundry mat, and he's looking,
Yo.
and that was the most rundown looking laundry mat. And then what does he do? He's looking at the newspaper. He sees, a race in Mexico. Like,
Oh yeah, so all right, so the Baja 1000
uh-huh.
is essentially them like just riding these huge cars with these big tires,
Hmm.
like jacked up cars, like real like independent suspension, all that stuff, and they it's a real long race. It's like maybe like 500 some miles,
Oh,
and
wow.
like it's just
Yeah.
so and like the crazy thing for us, if you watch the movie, like that would not be a really good thing for him. Because as we
On his
find out,
back. Hell
definitely
no.
not. Like this man, yo, oh, okay. I was listening to somebody's review, and
Uh-huh.
they're from Australia. It's one of my favorite podcasts, the Weekly Planet.
Uh-huh.
And from their perspective, they kind of one of them wasn't really understanding how nobody really remembers or like heard of him, even though he's still kind of doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes that one is two things. One is again generational.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not hot right now, then everybody forgets you. And especially if you're
Mm-hmm.
not doing the same thing. So if you're not in that field, then the people in that field, it's a very, what I'm saying, your own little echo
Yeah.
chamber, and
Mm-hmm.
don't nobody know who you are. And then secondly, is also a international thing. So
Mm.
some stuff play hot in the States, may not play hot over there.
Right.
American media, of course, is a global thing, but racing is stuff, it may not translate as well depending on who you are and
Right.
where you are. So even JP having to go to YouTube to look up who
Video.
who is this man
Yeah.
and what happened to him, and looking
Mm-hmm.
at that daggone race. No, looking at the basically a documentary of
Yeah.
him
Mm-hmm.
and how his crash, crazy. Your man was on the track in the fetal position.
Yeah, that's the thing that got me because I saw the like I didn't see him on the track until the second time, so he went back to watch the video. The first time I was just focusing on the car, like God dang, yo,
I
that's a
was like,
crazy crash.
your man is
And then
got thrown out the car.
like like about an hour or so later, watching the video again, you look and I said, oh snap, my man is on the track, like out out
Yeah,
cold, out cold
yeah.
on the track. And on the real, the man should have never drove again. Never,
Nah, they told him,
not,
the
not
doctors told him not to. They
right,
basically had to
yeah,
fuse his back together.
uh-huh,
I don't understand how he's able to walk around and be as beautiful as he is. But
yeah,
like there's like, he should have definitely died. And it's
it
funny,
did,
and yeah, the crash was horrific.
yeah,
Like and even because it's funny because that whole like, old man versus the young bull,
uh,
he okay. So he must like they have Hayes being like the track god because he is basically calling everything out and telling them here, there, here, there.
mm-hmm,
Even though we set it up like the first time he came to do the test track on a brand new car, he crashed that joint
mm-hmm,
just in practice. And
yeah.
and they was laughing at him, you know.
And he was able to tell old girl who was the designer of the car, like, because remember JP was running it and he was like, yo, something feels funny, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you the driver, what do you feel? And he was like, well, you designed the car type stuff. And it's like, well, yeah,
Yeah,
what do you do? And then when he did it, he sat there and displaying, he says, yo, your rear back here in your rear tire area, whatever, something just not feeling. And then she was like, oh. Okay, cool. And then you saw her running simulations to see what the problem was and seeing that it was like wind drag and stuff was kind of messing it up. And then he helped her along and said later on, it was like, hey, I need you to redesign something for me. And she's like,
yeah.
yeah,
I need to redesign the front wing. We're gonna be racing kind of dirty. We're gonna be like
yeah,
we not fast enough, so we got to get them in the
uh-huh,
corners. Got to make up time in the corners, and
mm-hmm,
that kind of goes back to the whole generation thing where we see this generation of kids really having problems communicating or don't
mm,
wanting or not wanting to communicate at all. And right now
mm,
we have this kid and they're running this basically this $1 billion operation and he
mm-hmm,
won't take the time to explain what's going on with the car that he's driving. And even
mm-hmm,
that's going to be for his benefit. And as we see for his safety, him not listening when he flips the car because it was
right.
raining. He said, "Look, yo, when you get to a certain point, I need you to stop then." And I said,
Uh-huh.
"Don't." He said, "Just wait.
He said,
Be
wait till
again.
you, he said, wait
Be
till the straightaway.
said, be patient,
Mm-hmm.
and then and then overtake." And then he tries to overtake in a corner,
He
flip
hits
that
one of
hole
them.
like 14
And you
times.
saw what he hit that bump. on the
Yeah.
like the little caution bump, flip that thing. 14. Thank God, Sonny was able to get there and fire extinguisher him and drag him out that car, or else my man would have been daggone toasty up in that
Yo.
daggone piece for real.
Yeah.
Because you know what, it's also made me think of now just saying it, the whole when I was just saying talking about the part when he was like, I don't know. You designed the car when she was saying, "Well, you got to tell me what's going on." That's also
Hmm.
a scene that was in Days of Thunder. But the thing difference in that was it was Tom Cruise character in that movie was like, "I don't know nothing about cars. I drive them, but I don't know what you mean. I don't know the terminology, this and that. And you put me behind the wheel, I'm gonna drive. That's what makes me good. But I don't know the terminology, this and that." And the guy was like, "All right, then cool. We're gonna help you learn it." And then we saw what happened in Days of Thunder. He taught him what the terminology was, and he became a better driver. And while the opposite here is Damson's just like not trying to hear nothing. He's blaming everybody. You know what I'm saying, with the problem. Even and this is what you call different leadership style. Because when the first race happens and that pit crew chick, she accidentally, the gun isn't working, she just drops it down and runs over it because she was already kind of a screw up as it was or whatever like
Yeah.
that. And Damson got back in there and was like, "Yo, what was that?" And she was like, "I was like, why am I not surprised?" Hey, and just start barking and hollering at her and pointing fingers at everybody. And then you know what happens? Sonny comes in and was like, "Hey guys, it's all right, cool. Hey, stuff happens. It's okay. We're gonna run this." And he was like, "Hey man, who you doing coming up in here?" Then he was like, relax, kid. Type, you know what I'm saying? Relax,
Yeah.
kid. Don't stop worrying about all this type of stuff or whatever. And you see the leadership style, you see it develop over the movie. Even when Sonny would get there and they would see him like running the track, basically running laps around the track. I know that was a long ass run too, shot.
Bro, do you have it
And the
like
heels and everything.
the embankments on some of these tracks, like
Uh-huh.
it'd be like a 5% grade. So like
Yeah.
it's basically it's almost like straight. Like it's
Yes.
some of them like ridiculous.
Yeah, and like you saw it, and so what happened was basically the pit crew chief, the black guy, he was one of the first ones to go out there. Then you start seeing everybody else, and then everybody started wearing the striped socks. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
different
and
color.
like and that's the type of stuff I love.
Yeah, I
Like,
love it. I love it, Rashad,
man,
because we went through.
teamwork will get me every time.
Rashad, you know why it affects us? We went through that.
We
You
yo,
and me, we went through that.
you gotta everybody gotta be doing their
Yeah,
job at the right time, hitting the line
yeah.
in the right step. Like that whole
We think about
yo,
it. We went through that
we
when we
really
was in the
did. I
band at
can't
Norfolk
yeah.
State with our
Thank you for
sections.
making that connection, yo. Like that really
Yeah,
makes sense. Like because when everybody's doing like when everybody's doing their job, how they're supposed to be doing
yeah,
their job, it
yeah.
makes stuff so much
It's
easier, man.
it's
Like
think about it. It's just like with your section when y'all got the shirts and everything. The horn section got the shirts and everything. Or else my section when I was in charge and we went down there, we had the Nike gloves and the headbands and stuff like that. It's teamwork makes the dream work. And one thing you always we learn, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And what
definitely.
happened? And what happened that we see in this movie? How old girl and the pit crew became a beast. You know what I'm saying? And like the time started being like what 2 seconds to change tires. 2 seconds. They was like, you like, yo,
Yeah.
that is just crazy. Crazy to be stuff like that. You see that he installed that, and even JP was sitting there looking like, well, what the hell is he doing all this stuff for? And it wasn't till he realized after the accident, you know what I'm saying? Like the accident that Sonny had, he was like, okay. And what happened? That last race, they running the laps. He leading them and running the laps and everything like that. And then, and even the guy that's like the crew chief, the old like I don't know, German dude or whatever he was, that had the accent where his kids came in and started climbing all over the cars and everything. They was
Yeah.
like, hey, you part of this? And like she raised her the designer, she raised her leg up and showed the socks, and then he showed the socks too. Like the whole team was
Like,
down for the
yo, like
cause,
that's
man.
man, I'm a sucker for it every
Yeah.
time, man. That like when because I just personally I love it
Mm.
when people understand their role and not also when they understand their role, but when they are doing their role.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this like this air or process of interdependency that all these things have, and I love even with just people in general. There's a lot of lessons in this that you can just take in your everyday life. Like, look, yo, I know that you're great at something, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm great at something. Why am I trying to do what you do? And why are you trying to do what I do? How about
Mm-hmm.
we collaborate, work together, so
Mm-hmm.
then I ain't wasting time on the crap I don't like and can't do. And
Mm-hmm.
then we can actually come up with even more things and better ideas, better processes, better
Mm-hmm.
systems, so everything can be very efficient. And that was their number one problem. They were a very unserious, inefficient outfit. Like
Yes.
like again, like you
Yes.
said, with the crew chief kids and grandkids or whatever, whoever they were, all in the $1 billion car, just running around, he's taking pictures and crap. JP just doing whatever he felt like doing because he was a hot rookie, even though he ain't won nothing yet. Shoot, even be honest, even Javier Bardem's character, um, him asking Hayes to even Sonny to come back. Like that was a huge risk because that
Yeah.
man he hadn't done IndyCar, I mean F1
30
since like
years.
85. You know what I'm saying?
He's
Like
like 30 something.
I was
He's
4 years old
30.
at
Yeah,
85. You
he's
know what I'm
like
saying?
30
So
something years. Yeah.
yeah,
And
so
they
so
were some different looking cars because I
yeah,
remember those Indy cars.
F1 back in the
Yeah.
day is not it's not the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Like technology has eclipsed how they like how to even operate the sport because like
Mhm.
everything is down to like the hundredth of a second. So
Yeah.
you're trying to gain in all the advantages that you can get.
And another thing too I loved about this movie as well, Sonny, I think was okay with never winning a race. I think he was okay with that.
Yeah.
He was doing this because unfinished business and to help his boy out.
Yeah.
Help his boy out. And then especially when shady ass Tully dude from Game of Thrones, who's trash in Game of Thrones, and he trashed and this would try to come up to him to buy the team out and stuff like that. He
That's
was really,
funny.
you know what I'm saying? He didn't even care because what did he when they finally polled in place, he did every sneaky, you know what I'm saying, as
Oh
far as
yeah.
we know, rule to make it to where, you know what I'm saying, JP could place. And the first time they polled was what, 10th place? And he was like, good job. And then they started polling more. He was sacrificing himself for them, you know what I'm saying, for them to poll. And then at the end, it's just ironic what happens where all he had to do was hold space and he won the race. And then what did he do at the end of the movie? He at the end of the movie, he ended the movie the same way he started it. He got on the podium. He was able, except he got on the podium. They did the little champagne bath because they was gonna give him the trophy. He said, "No, give it to him, the owner. Give it to him." They
Yeah.
gave it to
Yeah.
him, and he stood there for a minute, looked around, and was like, "Yep, good job," and peaced out like in the sea of the crowd.
Like
Like
he
mission
said he
accomplished.
was like, regardless of what happens in this race, I am
Uh-huh.
going to Baja,
Yeah, I'm
California,
going to Baja.
regardless what happens.
But then too, you know what he kept asking JP the whole time?
What's that?
Why are you racing?
Yeah.
Why are you
Yeah.
racing? You know, JP was like doing it for the fame. JP was doing it for the fame, the glory, the fortune. Uh Sonny is just doing it. He's doing it for
Yo,
the love of the race, man.
just for the love, but he
Just for
out
the
there for
love
the
of it.
love of the game,
You
yo.
you know who he is? You know who he is? He's Uncle Drew. The movie Uncle Drew. He
Yeah,
do it like did it for the love of the ball, love of the game of basketball. He does it for the love of the race. And he's just like, what's my next great race I'm going to do? I thought it was just hilarious too at the end when he finally gets to Baja and he gets there and he's talking to this crew. And you just looking at the complete contrast of difference of teams. You go from this $1 billion corporation, you know what I'm saying, team of Apex GP, and you go there, and it's like four dudes with a car that they kind of put together themselves. And, hey, we ain't got
hmm
no money. or nothing. And he was like, well, that ain't why I race. And like, and the fact that he has just won, from what I understand, the race of all race. Like
It's
when you
pinnacle. Yeah.
the pinnacle, like Formula One is the pinnacle of racing. Don't say that to NASCAR fans. They're gonna be like, hell no, buddy. Daytona 500. But NASCAR is like the not NASCAR. Formula One's the pinnacle. These motherfuckers ain't even recognized this this dude
And
or
going back to what I
whatever.
was saying about
Uh-huh.
whatever whatever you do, if you're not a
Mm-hmm.
part of that world, you're not gonna know. And we
Yeah.
got these daggone Spanish dudes just out here, little mom and pop situation, and
Yeah.
they like, look, we they put it, Tony, they put an ad in a paper
In
in 2025
newspaper and that is
saying that they need a driver.
yeah.
These bastards ain't even on IG. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't even got the
And you
connections to
ready for
even
this?
ask around.
This man was going to drive across country to that. He was going to drive
Because
across country.
he was in Florida.
He was in Florida. He was going to drive. That's like damn near a week. Damn near a week. He was going to drive across country just to race in this rinky dink 500-mile race, as you call it.
But the Baja
Uh,
1000 is like it's like a huge for them.
yeah.
That's their Daytona
Oh,
500. Like that's
oh,
their yeah.
I, I,
That's a huge thing. Like and the funny thing is that with that too, like they have their own set of like sponsors and
mhm,
like teams and people like putting money into that. Like racing is really
real.
it's a real weird world. Like that
Yeah,
culture and
yeah,
just how dangerous the sport is. Like it's
yeah.
this a whole they're a whole different breed of people, man.
Like even in NASCAR, like I know enough about NASCAR, not a whole lot, but just enough about NASCAR, and I really started following NASCAR a little bit. I started following a little bit because of Days of Thunder. Like I said, I was like in seventh grade, eighth grade. I'm in the see, and I didn't go see it in the theater. My science teacher showed that in our class because she was teaching us like about like propulsion and all this stuff like that,
That's
and
dope.
um and you know how like the curvature of the car versus the wind and all that stuff like that. And then I started getting
Drag
a little bit
coefficiencies.
right, that stuff like that. And so I started getting a little bit more into it because my favorite football coach of all time left
Joe
football to Joe
Gibbs.
Gibbs to start his own NASCAR team. And I remember people were giving him
That
hell.
was a
Oh,
huge that was a
what do you
huge
mean?
deal.
What do you mean
Yeah.
you're starting a NASCAR team? Ah, blah, 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 blah. Joe Gibbs Racing is possibly the best NASCAR team in NASCAR right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in NASCAR right now. So, I just, oh, wow. I just think that that is amazing. That is amazing that how that is all how that's all just set up and everything. And I'm not going to say I'm a Formula One fan, but I'm interested to learn more about Formula One. Like the first time I ever heard about Lewis Hamilton was at the Met Gala this past June. But no, I
For
didn't even go.
real?
That's the first time I ever heard of him because like and,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and the
yeah.
only reason I know because in the Met Gala because I work in news and we do like entertainment stuff and
Yeah.
we follow the Met Gala and I was like, yo, who's this? Like Lewis Hamilton, Formula One. I was like, oh, all right,
Yeah, I've heard of him a little bit before then. Like
yeah,
yeah, because I saw like inklings on like this dude, black dude running F1 from from the UK.
uh-huh,
And and then all the because like okay, last few years there's been like a lot of drama behind his team. He used to run with Mercedes because like in the movie he's still with Mercedes. But
mm-hmm,
over the time this movie I guess was being edited, he actually switched to Ferrari. And that's like it was like a huge deal. Like Ferrari
yeah,
gave him like crazy contract, partial ownership. Yeah, yeah, he had a lot. It was a lot of fanfare behind that. And it's just funny because I saw yesterday he was on they had a race and like they're not doing really well and they're having ironically problems with communication because the Ferrari team has been like not really great the past few seasons.
Really.
And yeah, and they're not really listening to Hamilton when it comes to like what he's trying to say, like
Uh-huh.
in race, and they're telling him like, for example, like in the movie where they run on like hard tires, soft tires, all
Uh-huh.
that stuff. All that stuff is really important. So
Hmm.
he's telling her like, look, I feel good. I'm in the car, like let me just drive. And they're like, nah, pit, pit. Like, yo, but like I'm right in third place. Can I just go ahead and stay around? Nah, pit. Pit. I still got life in these tires. Pit. So so again, like so that part of the movie where they were having like communication, all that stuff. That's like a real
Okay.
part of
That's
it,
a real part of
and
it.
that's
Okay.
the that's I mean I thought about this. That's the whole storylines behind
The
the
scenes.
actual race. Like yeah, so then you
Yeah.
get that type of drama, and that's what
Uh-huh.
like my coworker. A lot of that stuff is what keeps people going because then in between the races you get to see what type of adjustments teams make. You get to see who's pissed off, who's trying to fight. Like it's a lot like how NASCAR get down, but just it's just international people from all over the world instead of just instead of just here in America. But like
America.
it's the same vibes. Like people playing, people riding dirty, people doing being like messy, just like Sonny was in the movie, like stoppages and trying to have like crazy tactics to
Yeah.
gain advantage. Like yeah, that part
Plan
of
C.
it,
Plan C. Can
yeah,
that I'm
yeah, yeah,
sorry that
yeah,
what the hell is Plan C? Plan C. Like get out of
chaos.
they said get out of the car. My man said, man, put his tires on. That's all.
Yeah, so like watching that, it
Mhm.
really I was like, it just was a very like riveting in regards
Yeah.
to like the racing and again the
Hmm.
cinematography, like how they did it, and
Yeah.
also showing like all the different tracks. Like I like how it wasn't just one. Like usually these movies, it'd be
Yeah.
like two, three races tops.
They went to the track Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
They
we
went to the
went
May.
we went all over the world.
Yeah,
You know what
Vegas
I'm
and
saying?
everything. So
Yeah,
yeah.
so I like that. All those parts of it was really good.
So
Um,
now, I don't know about you, Rashad, but a part of me would like to go to a Formula One
I do
race.
want to go. I want to go a couple years
Yeah,
ago because like it just
oh,
looks like fun. Like
yeah,
there is one in Miami, and of course there
uh,
is the nighttime race
in
in
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah,
So like I would love to go to F1 race just to see the sights and because it's a whole different. I think
I
mission
like.
accomplished. I think if they can get
Yes,
two fairly
yeah,
middle-aged black men excited about
yeah,
wheel-to-wheel racing,
yeah,
then they did their job. They're going to make
yeah.
their money back. Moreover, this was what this was, Tony.
What's
This
this?
was an investment because this was
It
the
was.
largest F1
Yeah,
advertisement that they could
ever.
buy.
Yeah, right. And like I said, and like you said, F1 is probably more known worldwide than it is in the United States. Like, of course, speed freaks and speed junkies are
Tony,
going, huh?
you know what I thought about?
What's that? Oh God.
I thought about Talladega Nights. Because
Listen.
what's his name? Oh my God, can I remember what
Will Ferrell.
Sasha Cohen was on character's name?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The French dude. Yeah,
He was a Formula One.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
an
was
F1 driver, and he came to America.
Ricky Bobby,
Ricky
Ricky
Bobby.
Bobby.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, I really I like the movie, man. Like
I
this
did.
was a strong summer go to the movies,
Yeah.
have a fun time movie, man. And
Yeah,
we
it was a
need
good fun.
these.
It was a strong, fun movie, and us being guys, men are meatheads as it is. Look, speed, women in action get us going, and it gave us speed,
It's
and
a
it gave us
simple
action.
formula.
So,
Very simple formula, man. Like,
seriously, man. So,
are you gonna do the thing or not? Like,
yeah,
don't try to
right,
subvert my expectations with this, man. Just do it. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Stop
yeah,
playing. But
man,
nah, I think that's it, man.
yeah.
Oh yeah, one other thing. Shout out to JP's mom. JP's mom was the biggest hater. Gotta love her though.
Yo, she was a hater, but she didn't even want. She wanted to hate. she wanted to hate Sonny just because her son hated Sonny.
She
And then when
said
she saw
she
him,
said, "Oh
she said,
damn, that's a fine ass white
"He's
man."
a fine ass white man." She said, "He ain't that old." And then he was
Mm.
looking like, "Yo, come on, yo."
He's
And
like,
you know
"Mom,
what? And you know what
mom."
that is though. That is wild because when you a certain age and you a boy and you got your mom,
You were not trying to,
you're
you were
not trying
not,
to hear that.
nah.
I'm gonna tell you who that was for me and my mom. God bless my mother. When the new edition miniseries came out or whatever, the dude that played Ronnie DeVoe, the dude that played Ronnie DeVoe, that played she was like, Ronnie. I said, Ma. I said, yo, what the, yo? She said that was like, yo, I'm right here beside you. What? Because we was watching it together. I was like, yo, I'm right here beside. She was like,
Oh,
and then,
God.
and then she took it a step further because that same year, that's when BET did the tribute to New Edition, the group, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Do you think they're gonna have the guys from the movie come out?" I said, "No. Why would they do that?" She said, "I'm just trying to see Ronnie." I said, Ronnie's up there on the stage. What are you? She says, no. I was like, yo, cut it for real.
Didn't
I
they
was like,
jump? Didn't they come in there anyway?
I think they
Yeah,
did end up
they
coming out
definitely,
there.
they
And I was
definitely
just like,
did.
and she
Yeah,
said, oh, there he is, right? I was like that Jonah Hill meme, like, no,
yeah.
cut this shit.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
It's yeah, yo.
Shout out to Fifi, man, my
Yeah,
mom.
man.
Yeah.
Don't look Felicia, yo. That joke was funny, man. Like mom was like real. It's looking like she was probably first generation immigrant. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
probably
saying? And
so.
he,
Yeah.
came over and he was born in the UK. Like that
Mm-hmm.
dynamic for me also, I love that too
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't shy away from that. Because usually it'll be kind of like it's there, but like nah, they was like really like, yo, look. He's like, look at me, look at you. So like they could lean into a little more, but I'm always down for the black stuff,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of where you are in the diaspora. But yeah, um, I think that's it, man. That's all I have to say
Yeah.
about this. Again, if you haven't seen it, we spoiled it for you. Go and watch it. We will be back Wednesday for the final three episodes of Ironheart. You haven't seen the first three, go watch it. Then go watch our review because we had a lot. We had more to say about it than I thought we did. It's
Yeah.
50 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do the last three episodes on Wednesday. I might do a review on Jurassic World because I'm gonna see it. That's gonna be something for the kids.
I'll be back
Um,
home at a wedding, bro.
it's
So
all good.
yeah.
Next week, week after that, after next week, we got Superman. I'll be seeing that on July 8th.
Wait, that's
The
that
Amazon
Tuesday.
preview. Yeah. I'll be seeing that
I
July
want
8th.
to, but the brother got work in
It's
the
all
morning.
good. I understand. I
I can't do
understand.
it. I really
Yeah.
can't do it. So
Because
I'm
our
just
show
gonna
is at 7. The show
see.
for us is
Yeah.
at 7, and it's an IMAX. So
See, yeah.
I got to drive over to Hampton. So yeah, so I'll be seeing that on the 8th. We'll have our review normal time the following Monday, and then you know what's going on after that. Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Still trying to figure out when I'm gonna exactly see that. I haven't bought the tickets yet, but yeah, I will be though.
Yeah.
If play this, if Superman is crazy in IMAX, I might just go see that in IMAX too. Just
Yeah.
depends. But
For
yeah,
sure.
man, that's all we got for this one. Oh yeah, the site. Don't forget the site, theuponfurtherreview.com for the 10. You know what I'm saying? $10. Currently, currently writing and scripting out the Interstellar video essay.
Can't wait for that.
Bro, like, and I'm just talking about the music, and it's so much. I
I
haven't even
speak
got to the story yet.
and speaking of like doing stuff like that as well, like I know we plan on doing stuff like that. Shout out to one of our favorite channels on YouTube, New Rock Stars. They have their deep dive channel
Did you see the
on
Tennessee
YouTube.
dive?
Huh?
You see the
The Tenet
Tennessee?
one? No, I watched the Oppenheimer one
Yeah,
yesterday.
I watched that. Yeah, way back. Yeah, it
Oh
was
my
amazing,
God, it was so good.
amazing.
I need to watch the Tenet one, but yeah, the
Yeah,
Oppenheimer
I
one
haven't. I feel like
was
this.
so good.
I've seen every deep dive they've done so far.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah, yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
have.
man. So, if
Yeah,
I had a team of editors and people, then we'd be doing that. We would have been got it done. But it's
yeah.
just,
It's
it's
just
just
it's
me.
just your man there. And like I and listen, I want to help Rashad so bad, but he
Tony
know
can't. Tony
my
ain't gonna help.
schedule, my,
I can't rely on Tony.
my schedule is the listen, y'all don't know how many times we've been planning to record something and I'm at work and I'm like, hey,
Yeah, so and so
uh
happened in the world, so I'm gonna be. I gotta stay
yeah.
back.
For those of y'all that don't know, I work in news. I'm a newscast director, and it's been plenty of times we about to record something. So that's why sometimes we might be a couple of days late. You know what I'm saying? With the episode coming out when something may y'all know we're like, hey, they normally come out like the day after or something. It's because something dumb happened in the world, and your boy had to stay back longer and longer at work to do some stuff. Hopefully, one of these days I can have somewhat of a normal schedule or some other, not saying I'm leaving my job, but some other job where I can dedicate more time to this or whatever. But yeah, man.
No, man, it's all good, man. Y'all join the site. We can see what we can see what we can do.
Right, pretty much. For real.
You know what I'm saying? But nah,
For
yo, it's
real.
all good, man. We really appreciate y'all.
Uh-huh.
We will see you guys on the next one. Peace.